Hello everyone, I am Jyoti and welcome to IAS Delhi Institute. Now today I am here to tell you about the fundamental features of my History Optional Foundation course and how it is different from other courses that are available in the market. Before I begin, let me tell you something. Foundation is something that can make or break your preparation, and there are some very important factors that you definitely must take into account. Foundation क्या है? Foundation is something that lays your base and that decides whether after 6 months you are going to look at the question paper and think कि मैंने पूरा क्लास कर लिया और कुछ भी समझ में नहीं आ रहा है, or you are going to look at the question paper and think that yes, these are the sections that I have already prepared, these are the sections that I need to prepare, and you will have an absolute clarity. And this is very, very important. So the first important feature of my batch or my foundation course is that the batch is small. What I mean is smaller batch of only 40 students. This is very important because imagine that you are in a class of 200 students. Now in that class of 200 students, do you think that the teacher is going to give you individual attention? That is practically not possible. It will simply be like a dictation, that is, one person is coming and dictating and you are just scribbling down the notes. Even if you have doubts, you have to go and stand in a long queue after the class and then you have to ask the teacher. But then that is not here in my class. In my class, what I do is every day, before starting the class, I ask all the students that whether you have understood or not what I have taught in the previous day. And trust me, this is something that differentiates and makes a huge difference in the preparation. Second thing is, you should definitely understand this, कि if your foundation is not good, or if you are in a class of 200 students, the next thing that you have to do is, after completing your 6 months foundation course, you have to go looking for mentorship program. Mentorship program mein kya hai? You will have one person, you will be basically put under the guidance of one person, one mentor, and the mentor is supposed to be available to you whenever you call or you want to approach. That simply does not happen, because under one mentor there are several students, and a mentor is also a person. He or she will not be able to cater to each and every student all the time. So it's very important to have a smaller, to attend a smaller batch where you get individual attention. The second very important thing that you must take into account and that I pay very crucial attention to in my classes is updated exam-oriented teaching. Updated exam-oriented teaching. What I mean by updated exam-oriented teaching is that if you look at the question papers, the way the questions are being asked, that is very, very analytical. There is no direct question from any topic. They have mix and match. For that, your understanding of historiography, your understanding of the subject and conceptual clarity is very important. That is something that is missing today. What happens is, in majority of the batches, the process or the way it is taught is still very outdated. Outdated, what I mean is, still based on the time when direct questions were being asked, when there was a topic, subtopic and 10 points of that topic. That is not how it is today. In my class, I help you to understand how to think. मतलब question जब हम पढ़ रहे हैं, उस question को पढ़ के समझना कैसे है, उस question को decipher किस तरीके से करना है, and that is something that is not possible in a big class. That happens only when you get individual attention and the teacher sees कि अच्छा ठीक है, तुम मुझे पढ़ के बताओ कि तुम्हें इसमें क्या समझ में नहीं आया. Then I'm going to tell you कि हाँ, इसको इस तरीके से पढ़ना है. Do you think that is possible in a large batch? That is absolutely not possible. And third thing that is again very important in history optional is mapping. Mapping एक ऐसा चीज है ना that can make or break your selection. मैपिंग में क्या है? पेपर 1 में वी हैव 50 मार्क्स डेडिकेटेड फॉर मैप्स, एंड मैप्स एक ऐसा चीज है जिसमें आपको सामने बिठा करके आपको बताने की जरूरत है कि ये हमारा मैप है, इसको यहाँ से लाइन ड्रॉ करना है, इसको इस तरीके से दिस आर द वेरियस नियोलिथिक साइट्स, पैलियोलिथिक साइट्स, इसको यहाँ पे पिन पॉइंट करना है. अगर आप थोड़ा सा ऊपर नीचे कर रहे हो, द टीचर हैज टू सी दैट इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू एंड टेल यू कि दिस इज वेयर यू आर मेकिंग द मिस्टेक. Trust me, that is not possible if you have a large batch. Here, since I have a batch of only 40 students, this is absolutely a hand-holding approach that I do, and that is what helps you to score 300 plus marks. For my way of teaching, you can go and check out the playlist, and there I have showed how you should analyze your PYQs, how you should break the questions, how you should approach them. So that is an approach that also I teach in my class. So do go and check out the playlist. Now moving on to another important feature, the fourth one, that is answer writing. See, this is something that boosts your score. आंसर राइटिंग में क्या है, आंसर राइटिंग में अब ट्रेडिशनल जो आपको मतलब मार्केट में जो आपको कोर्सेज अवेलेबल मिलेंगे, इन दैट व्हाट हैपेंस इज आपको डेली क्वेश्चंस दे दिए जाएंगे, आपको क्या करना है उसको जाके लिखना है. There is no one to take accountability whether you write or whether you don't write. Here, because the batch is limited, I have only 40 students. I know exactly all the students by face and by name, and I can say कि अच्छा तुमने अगर नहीं लिखा तो तुमने क्यों नहीं लिखा. या फिर what I also do is कि in the class itself I discuss all the questions, और सामने वाले का जो है ना introduction conclusion वो मैं क्लास में ही पढ़ लेती हूँ, और उसको तभी के तभी what I do is I give them a feedback. That does not happen in a large batch. What happens in a large batch is that you have to wait for 2 days, 3 days, and after that you get the paper, and the paper is also evaluated not by the faculty. The paper is evaluated by some other person, by some person of the content team. Now that is not something that should be done. There is a very fundamental difference between how a faculty is going to check the paper. If you come to our center or if you go to our website, I have given a sample copy of the paper that I have corrected of a student. You can go and see that in how much details I correct the papers. Okay, so do go to the website and check out that. Now so answer writing is very important. Also, one more thing that I do in answer writing is I take live answer writing. Live answer writing means what? Live answer writing means that many a day, that in some days, what I do is I take a surprise test. Surprise test as in I come and give you a question and I tell you to write. You have to write that down. We discuss that in class itself. So you have this habit. What happens is at home many a times people procrastinate कि अच्छा ठीक है आज ये आज का questions है, आज नहीं लिखना है, कल लिखना है, परसों लिखना है. But that does not happen because live answer writing में क्या होता है ना, you don't have a choice. You have to sit calmly, you have to think and you have to write. That is something very very important. आप इतने पैसे दे करके एक फाउंडेशन कोर्स करने के लिए आ रहे हो, अगर आपको एक मैकेनिकल तरीके से ही सारी चीजें करनी है, so what is the point? So many videos, so many courses are available already on YouTube and other video platforms. So make your choice very very rationally. Just don't have a herd mentality. Use your mind. Think. Learn to think critically. Another important thing is, the fourth point is this, another very important thing is the way I teach, it has a PYQ based approach. What I mean by PYQ based approach is, the way I teach, it is based on जिस तरीके से questions पूछे जाते हैं. Again meaning कि जो traditionally जिस तरीके से पढ़ाया जाता है ना कि एक topic है, for example we have Vedic civilization, उसके 10 points, उसके सब features, उसके 10 points, ये तो हम क्लास में करेंगे ही, लेकिन इसके साथ ही साथ हम क्या करते हैं कि we also discuss PYQs कि इससे related कौन से PYQ आए हैं, इसको किस तरीके से लिंक करना है. ठीक है, ये चीज हो गया. And another very important thing is, approachable faculty. Okay, this thing is, it might sound like कि क्या ही approachable faculty, but it's really important. Approachable faculty का मतलब ये होता है ना कि अगर आपको कुछ डाउट है, अगर आपको कुछ पूछना है, तो आप सीधा आकर के टीचर से पूछ सकते हो. You don't have to think twice कि अच्छा if how to approach this teacher. There are multiple layers जिसके बाद मुझे टीचर का एक्सेस मिलेगा. टीचर is taking classes and leaving. आपको कुछ डाउट है, फिर आप पहले से बताओ. These are the kind of things that does not happen. ये ना छोटी छोटी चीजें हैं, but इससे बहुत ज्यादा डिफरेंस क्रिएट होता है. Okay, so these are some of the fundamental features of my course. For more details, you can go and check out the website. So I hope this was helpful, and hope to see you in class, and good luck for your preparation. Choose wisely.